What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Some people have talked to me and they said, well, you say you're stuck in the middle, but you seem like a right-winger. And I thought that was fair criticism because, you know, if you say you're stuck in the middle, that's something to live up to. Probably if I were to start the channel over, I would probably say man without a label or something like that. That's probably more fitting. But there comes a time where you have to choose sides. You can't always be in the middle. It depends on the issue, but I know which side I'm not on right now, and that's the side of Brandon. He doubled down on this label that, in my opinion, is the equivalent of Hillary Clinton's deplorables moment, where she called, hey, you can put a bunch of Trump supporters half of them in a basket of deplorables.
We are living in a volatile political environment. You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you can put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right?
Speaking of citizens in our country, Joe Biden went on another unhinged rant against Ultra-MAGA. This is a video game that you can do this is a fighting video game. You can do this combo and it's like Ultra combo. I always think about that. Ultra-MAGA.
Look, the bottom line is this. Americans have a choice right now between two paths, reflecting two very different sets of values. My plan attacks inflation and grows the economy by lowering costs for working families, giving workers well-deserved raises, reducing the deficit by historic levels, and making big corporations and the very wealthiest Americans pay their fair share. The other path is the Ultra-MAGA plan put forward by congressional Republicans to raise taxes on working families, lower the income of American workers, threaten sacred programs Americans count on like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and give break after break to big corporations and billionaires.
That's what it's. That's what matters.
Just like they did the last time they were in power.
Oh, okay.
Look.
Okay. Yeah, so there's Biden. If you believe everything that Biden says, this bag of oatmeal in his brain basically is just like mush, then you're probably not going to get this video if you believe in what this dude's saying at this point. Well, let's talk about what the coherent ones, like the masters of communication, are supposed to do. They said, well, what do you mean by this Ultra-MAGA? This is the second time we're hearing you say it. The first time we thought it was a gaffe. What's going on with this Ultra-MAGA stuff?
So then who is an Ultra-MAGA Republican?
I would say people who support that portion of the Republican agenda.
So Rob Portman, Susan Collins, Mitt Romney, would they be Ultra-MAGA Republicans?
They can all make their own choices, Ed, and we can let others evaluate that. But I would say that the president's view is those who support a plan by Rick Scott, by Chairman Scott, that would raise taxes on 75 million Americans and get rid of, sunset, eliminate, whatever you want to call it, Medicare and Social Security. That's a MAGA position.
Name names.
And that includes the chairman of the Republican National Committee.
There we go.
That's a MAGA position. That is the chairman of the party. So that's what the president considers. But also, obviously, given 2/3 of the American people, according to a Fox News poll, believe that Roe v. Wade should be protected. If you're on the other side of that, you're supporting an ultra-MAGA position in the president's view. So we don't need to name call individuals unless they have positions that
Yes, you do. Name them. Name them.
are aligned with what he feels is the ultra-MAGA wing of the party.
Ultra-MAGA wing of the party. They think it's a own, but it sounds powerful and great. Like I said, people have referred to me as a right winger, which fine. I have never voted for a GOP president. Not that that means I'm not a right winger, but I don't know. Help me understand where that comes. Not that I'm proud of it. Either way, you would have failed in these elections if you voted for the major party. 96, I voted for Clinton. Oh, didn't vote. 04. Those were rough times in my life. I was homeless for a little bit of that, just a little bit. But getting back on my feet. 08 was it was a magical moment when Obama became president.
11 p.m. on the East Coast. We're back on the air, and we have news. There will be young children in the White House for the first time since the Kennedy generation.
Barack Obama, in our view, President-elect of the United States of America.
Barack Obama is projected to be the next president of the United States.
This is a profoundly important passage out of the deep shadows of our racist past that began with that first slave offloaded on a ship.
It was really a good feeling. Little did I know it was a good feeling of trash. I mean, there was substance to it, and it was bad substance. Bailing out the banks and dropping bombs is what Obama will forever be known for, and winning a Nobel Peace Prize while dropping bombs. That's what he will forever be known for. Voted for him twice. Wrote in Ralph Nader. You could see in 2016, I'm like, I didn't fully understand what I didn't like about Obama until after the pandemic recently here. I'm like, okay, I always liked Ralph Nader. 2020 wrote in Andrew Yang. Similar type of protest type of vote. I'm definitely considering a Republican this time, but right now, I told you before, I would vote for Comic Dave Smith for liberty if I had a choice. These are the only things that I saw from mainstream media about the Libertarian Party, and this is what made them a joke.
I would like to ask the body to consider that the Libertarian Party acquire a mascot. And I would like to propose Dobby from the Harry Potter series, who in the 7th book says, Dobby has no master. Dobby is a free elf, and Dobby has come to save Harry Potter and his friends.
The perception is that they take liberty with the idea of liberty. Easy, bro. That's too much for me. Too much liberty all at once. But what I am seeing is this dude does have some political gravitas, some smart, some savviness. He's cleansing that party of all that foolishness I showed you earlier.
I don't understand how, whatever your politics are, you can be on the side of people who can't handle Dave Smith if they're interested in handling the Republican Party and the Democratic Party.
The Andy Craig letter when he resigned was really something. I mean, he listed off every little position that he's had in the Libertarian Party. And he was like, I was the head of this committee. I worked on this campaign. I volunteered for this thing. I did this. I ran for this office and got the highest percentage of anybody who's ever lost for that office. And now I'm quitting. And it was this thing of like, yeah, like you see it, like you see the kind of entitlement. This is an illusion that someone sold you. And I'm sorry you bought into it, but that's not what I'm not working for any of these institutions. My commitment is like to human liberty. It's not to your steps.
But, you could say those are right-wingers. Clinton and Obama are the two major ones I voted for. They were probably right-wingers. Little did I know, the right wing and the left wing were the same wing. They're the wing of the same party. Ultra-MAGA is kind of like that. Regular MAGA is kind of like that. I'm soured on Trump a little bit. I got to do a video on the Johnson & Johnson controversy, the Dr. Oz stuff.
With us are some friends of mine. They wanted to say, I said, don't come tonight. Let's go another time. It's pouring. Woody Johnson, a great gentleman. You ever hear of Johnson & Johnson? He owns the place. I tell you what, this guy's got cash like nobody's got cash. Johnson & Johnson. His incredible wife, Suzanne Johnson, whose family is very, very close, and she comes from Ukraine. So she has a little bit of a hard time with it, but she's an incredible woman. Another incredible woman is Summers Farkas, a person respected by everybody in New York.
It's getting a little tiring trying to, hey, Trump, that's not where we need you to go. We're not in the mood to see you celebrate the riches of the Johnson & Johnson big pharma company. Like, we shouldn't have to tell you this. We're having to micromanage you a little bit too much, bruh. But, Joe Biden used to be coherent. He used to have reasonable takes.
I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy. And I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions. And there ought to be able to have a common ground and consensus as to do that. I think the vast majority of the American people think that can be done. But unfortunately, we're put in a position you either eliminate abortions under all circumstances or it's, quote, abortion on demand. The fact of the matter is I've never known of a woman having an abortion and say, by the way, I feel like having an abortion. It's always a tragic decision made.
A reasonable take by a younger Joe Biden. No stuttering, no stammering. This was before the Overton window shifted. That movement you feel. Here's Joe Biden of today. It's like it's a whole different dimension.
And I agree with what Chairman Powell said last week, that the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation. So the Fed should...
Come again, my nickel?
And I agree, is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation. So last week...
What did you say?
That the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation.
Oh, the strength that you built was inflation.
And I agree with what Chairman Powell said.
Let me quote, the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we've built is inflation.
Last week, that the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation. So
this was during a press conference about tackling inflation. Now, I stumble over my words all the time. But I'm not president, bruh. That's probably the wrong position for you. I'm not president, and I'm not doing a speech on tackling inflation and saying, quote, that strength that we've built is inflation. You're right, though. I didn't say you lied. No lies detected. I'm not laughing, though, either.
I think ever since you've come into looking up, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been a tough first year for you, Mr. President. And sure, I think ever since you...
What's funny, I want to laugh too. There comes a time when you have to decide. And this is what Ultra-MAGA is. Who's more MAGA than Marjorie Taylor Greene? Let's check in on Marjorie Taylor Greene and see what this ultra, like there's MAGA, like they were saying you could call Susan Collins MAGA, Ultra-MAGA. Okay, so if Susan Collins is Ultra-MAGA, then Marjorie Taylor Greene is ultra mega MAGA. And let's check in on her this morning. She tweeted, why does $17 million go to the president in the $40 billion bill for Ukraine? Haven't the Bidens made enough money in Ukraine? Is this for Hunter? But no baby formula for American mothers. Nope. Democrats hate babies inside and outside the womb. Let's check it out. Funds appropriated to the president, operating expenses of $17 million. That's a ultra-mega. Let's see what else she had to say. And entitlement programs, all of the entitlement programs, but no baby formula for American mothers? The receipts, resettlement, assistant, entitlement programs, and other benefits available to refugees admitted under Section 207. Oh, that's because when you're spending $40 billion, that's a lot of money to go a lot of places. And when someone like myself says, it kind of smells like money laundering, we kind of look at it and say, it kind of looks like that too. Marjorie Taylor Greene went on to say again, anyone that just walked through Ukraine qualifies for resettlement, but no baby formula for American mothers. And you could substitute, if you're in the populist left, you can substitute whatever cause you have. I was on with Jen Perlman on the Generational Change podcast yesterday, populist left, and there's certain things that they want to have happen. Let's team up and stop this nonsense. Then we should be together in Marjorie Taylor Greene's efforts to say no to this bill and then use that money for stuff that we really want. Anyone that just walked through Ukraine qualified for resettlement. We're just throwing money out. It's just like we're in the strip club, just making it rain. $900 million to be given to qualified organizations and nonprofits, aka friends and family of politicians, businesses, to provide wrap-around services. Look that one up. Housing, medical, and just free everything. But no baby formula for American mothers. Remember, this is the ultra mega MAGA Marjorie Taylor Greene. $54 million for pandemic forever. Why not just keep Title 42 in place? Because we got to have money. With inflation, $40 billion doesn't go as far as it used to. Keep in mind that inflation is a tax on normal people, while Biden and Psaki are talking about the tax that Ultra-MAGA want on you. They're taking money from you, your tax dollars, borrowing it, causing inflation, and that is a tax. While he says wages are up. Wages are up and inflation is up too, bruh. And rent is up.
Gas is up, rent is up, food is up.
One last one. In the America Last $40 billion Ukraine first bill that we're voting on tonight, there is authorization for funds to be given to the CIA for who knows what and who knows how much. Here's where I'm going to end. Like I said, you got to make a decision sometimes. If you want to call those Ultra-MAGA positions, then guess what? I'm going to be Ultra-MAGA. Because what it really means, it's just a label. You can call me in the middle. You can call me Ultra-MAGA. Some people call me socialist because I'm for universal basic income. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. Because when they say Ultra-MAGA, all they really mean is someone who's not afraid to fight back politically against the establishment. So I don't care what side you are, Jen Perlman, Peter as well, and many other people, if you are willing to fight back against the establishment, people like Jim Clyburn and all, we know the names, you're Ultra-MAGA whether you know it or not. They're talking about you. So I'll own it. If you want to call me Ultra-MAGA, I'll happily. I'm Ultra-MAGA. You know what? In fact, not only will I be Ultra-MAGA, I will monetize it. I'm not a big promoter or marketer. I've been working on trying to figure out like how to do stuff. So I just have like some show stuff stuck in the middle. I've got a little Elon shirt I was playing around with, having someone doing a design on that. But remember when they did the deplorables and then people had the deplorable shirts? There was a time in college where we used to play. It wasn't a full-blown pool set, so it wasn't serious if you're playing on those smaller pool sets. But those games got kind of heated. I never talked trash. But there was a guy I was playing with that I beat, and he took the pool stick over his knee and broke it. I'm like, I wasn't talking trash or anything. I think there were some very attractive young ladies who were watching the game is where I think that went wrong. One of them was one of his girls. So it wasn't a big deal. They weren't even paying attention, but this is like 96 or 97. He breaks the pool stick and just leaves it on the ground and walks away. We were still cool, so I don't need beef over a pool game. But I did pick up the stick, and I was like, because it's a small pool table, you don't really need a great pool stick. And the stick is kind of broken in half, and I used that for the rest of the school year. And I would lose some, but I would win some as well. My point is, when somebody kind of does something, you can turn it into a positive. That's my attempt. Dark MAGA. That's my first Dark MAGA shirt design. I'll put a link in the description. I'm not a big marketer or anything like that, but this is fitting. You used the term Dark MAGA that was used in the infamous article recently. I forgot which outlet it was. Use the term Dark MAGA to make it, it sounds real scary, doesn't it? It's just a way to demonize citizens that they don't want to have control. Woman sweater, Dark MAGA. Then also Ultra-MAGA. I think the Ultra-MAGA in the red, I tried to find a more creative design, couldn't do it, so I just went with the plain. Oh, I actually do have a new Ultra-MAGA one that I should upload on here. And this is my favorite personally, Dark MAGA. Kind of like in a navy blue. It's kind of like the flag. I don't even know if I can say it. They'll demonetize, or they might demonetize this anyway. at the end of the day, monetize the hate. And you want to call me Ultra-MAGA? Okay, well, I'll be Ultra-MAGA. Let me know what you think. Take care.